SGC here. So it's Wednesday, new comic book day. And in terms of new comics, I only got 2. Not a big haul for me this week. Oh well, next week will be big. So first up we have Blackhawks. I really have nothing to say about this because it's just really not doing anything for me. Next, Flash. We finally find out that the Speed Force messes things up really bad and there's still no Captain Cold, which I sort of am disappointed at. The storyline is pretty much over with this cloning thing, so that's good. Okay, Prophet came out last week, and if you really like the art, I suggest you check this out. Jan's Atomic Heart. It's by the artist, it's written by the artist, and it's pretty intense. I put a link in the description box to the Amazon.com, and this is selling for $86.68 used. There's not even a copy on Amazon.ca. And guess where I got mine? RX Comics. So I'm not sure how many copies they have still, so you better run down and check them out. This storyline is a standalone and it's ridiculous. The art, if you like the Prophet's art like I said before, you'll dig this for sure. I really liked it, and the storyline itself should be a basis for a movie. I'm saying it now. This should be a movie. It's ridiculous. And the way that it ended, it can be up in the air how it ends in the movie version, how it starts. You can add a lot more stuff if Roy is attached to the project, and this is pretty mighty, so check it out. Jane's Atomic Heart. There you go. RX Comics is where I get my comics, and this week they have a 20% off all Vertical related stuff. So you know, your Vertical trades, Vertical comics, Vertical graphic novels are all 20% off, except what came out recently, like this week. So new releases are exempt, and in the description box again, it is the address for RX Comics. So go check them out. Yeah. And here's my rant. So last week, the 18th, was crazy, wasn't it? The blackout of SOPA. Obviously now SOPA is put on the shelf again, and I hope it stays there and be destroyed forever. So just the general gist of SOPA, for those you don't know, is that like the government will have new powers to take down stuff that they think is infringing on copyright. But guess what? The day after SOPA, Mega Upload ceased to exist without SOPA being in power. So all this excuse that the government needs more power to close down sites is just not really that true, and totally don't believe it. This is not what I'm ranting about. SOPA is done and over with, but something else is coming. What is concerning is that in Europe, they're talking up another agreement, an anti-counterfeiting trade agreement. The scary thing is that it's been in the shadows, lurking. SOPA was up in the air because all these major sites like Wikipedia went down, and people were like, whoa, what's SOPA? So they get to know what it is. But this anti-trade agreement, it's pretty intense. Shortened form to ACTA, that's what I was going to call it. It is far more powerful, and the crazy part is that it's been hidden since 2006. And we better keep an eye on this, because it's bigger than SOPA. This is ridiculous that it's been in the works since 2006. I mean, there's a link in the Destructoid page to the Wikipedia link of what the trade agreement entails, and it's pretty intense. And actually, there will be a second part to this rant. Just piracy in general. I mean, I think I can say that piracy... Okay, let's talk about piracy. How did piracy even get its word? Well, I'm just thinking pirates. Pirates steal things from ships. And these ships are going to sell these things. So they lose money when pirates take them out. But what if these pirates take these things and give it out to, like, normal people and sell it? And these normal people go like, this material of this linen is really nice. Maybe I should buy it from, like, official people instead. So what does that happen? Like, isn't that what's happening nowadays? Like, how people, like, get a pirated copy of something and they're like, I can afford it. Like, maybe I should support it. And they buy it. Like, does not piracy encourage something that they get more sales, so the original people get the sales anyway? Like the Minecraft guy said, if you can't buy Minecraft for $10, just pirate it. You'll pay for it later. And pay for it later, he meant like you actually literally pay for the $10 later. Well, for sure, I say you sell anything that shouldn't be sold is pirated. Like if you film something from a theater and then you burn it on a disc and you sell it, that's for sure piracy. And if you like release like stuff that's not officially released. Like you have those leaked albums and you like burn on a disc and you sell it. I think it's the key piracy here. You just write in the comments, say I'm wrong, whatever. But like for me, piracy here, the key is that you make money from stuff that you didn't do. But what if like you share stuff? Like piracy nowadays, people say, oh, you get it off the internet, oh, that's piracy. But what if it's just sharing? Like, what's the difference between me buying a book and then lending it to a friend next door, to me putting a book together and scanning it and put it online, and so everyone else can just download it? So technically they just borrowed it from me. Like how's that different? Like how can you, just because the fact I put it online that it's making people lose money, well, the fact that I lend it to my neighbor, the book person's losing money, it's like piracy? Like if you're gonna define like sharing like somewhat piracy, then I should be like, oh, you're a pirate because you lended a book to your neighbor physically. Physically and digitally nowadays don't really make a difference, because I mean, like for sure, like I am against movies that are like cam recorded and like they're not even released on DVDs or stuff like that. And well, actually I have a major problem. Like how do people even have like Blu-ray version of movies when the DVD isn't, or DVD or even the Blu-ray isn't out yet? If a person can find a Blu-ray version of something that is not even out on Blu-ray, that's problematic. Shouldn't government try to like stop these things happening? Like why would a Blu-ray version be available for download when the Blu-ray is not even out yet? That's problematic. But what if the Blu-ray was out already? Then technically, sure, it doesn't really make a difference because you're sharing again. So piracy is really like sharing. I mean, there are limits to piracy. Like for sure when you sell stuff, like I brought up before, like how if you make money off it, but what if you don't make money off it? Like Mega Upload was closed because you shared. There was no money making. Like sure, you pay Mega Upload for premiums and stuff and you download things faster, but in the general gist of things, you are technically sharing. But somehow the government closed down Mega Upload. So there's the argument that like if I lend one book to a person beside me, that's only one person, and if I put it online, millions and millions of people would get it, and that would be losing money. Well, I think that's what the government's trying to say, and I think that's just kind of sucks. Because I really believe that if you really like the artists, like for comics for example, you would buy the stuff, and if you can't, you just start reading it and maybe you save up some money and buy some trades. And even like with like iTunes and stuff, I don't really get it. Like how, sure, you can buy one song for 99 cents. And that 99 cents hopefully goes to the artist. I'm just assuming, I don't know. And then instead of buying the entire album, let's say it has 10 songs, you only want one. You spent 99 cents on the artist instead of spending the full album price. Like, what's the difference there? Like that guy's losing money. Like, how come I don't see artists going like, oh, I don't want to sell my iTunes songs on iTunes anymore because I just want to sell like the entire album instead of one song. Like, I don't know. Stuff like that. Like, making money. When making money doesn't make money, people complain, and that's just really annoying. And realistically, people that don't have money try to fight for all these things, and a lot of people don't have money. Like, you know, the 99 versus 1%. I'm not even going to talk about that. Everyone's just trying to enjoy what's being produced, and I think that's pretty good. Like, you have all this support. Like, I would watch something like from a friend's house, maybe I'll buy myself, or I would go watch it. Like, there is so much power in sharing. Like, if someone shared me with this book and I read it, I'm like, whoa, this is really interesting. And then he doesn't have this book and I want to try out to buy it my own, like, I would have known. Like, there's so many books out there, there's so many artists, so many writers, so many blah blah blah, anything out there that you cannot know by yourself. Like, you won't have enough time to go search through search engines and going like, oh, what's so great? But people sharing things, like, that's when you get interest and that's when you have revenue. Like the Minecraft guy said, like, if you don't buy it now, buy it later. Like, $10, someone can afford it. And look how many people bought Minecraft. Minecraft was already, like, finished. It's, like, making business thing already done, even before it officially came out. It had a Minecon. Like a conference made for this game that wasn't even out yet. Like, just because it was pirated enough. But people paid for it. It was $10. And some people didn't even want to pay for it when it's a full-blown game. $10, that's not a lot of money. But people still pirate it, and oh well, there's people that pay for it. And since I'm in the comics, there are people that download comics, and they're like, oh, I can't buy all the comics because it's a waste of space. But then there's some stuff that you want to keep. And I think that, sure, there's some stuff that you read. And I think, like, one person not buying it, or a lot of people not buying it, there will be some people buying it. There will be always people buying stuff. And it's an economy, like, people will keep going, and the fact that you try to close down these sites is just like, oh, let's not share anymore. You want new music, new videos, new blah blah, go figure it out yourself, and like maybe have a physical copy, because that's a legit way. And I don't know, my stance on piracy, for sure, I don't agree when you make money off it. You burn something, you film something. Actually, bring up the filming thing. I don't really get why in theaters you can still film stuff in a theater. Like, how bad are the security? Like, how come people can bring in a camcorder and stuff and just film? I don't care if it's not a camcorder or if it's a phone. They should just make some technology that wipes out all, like, viewing, like, your camera thing. Like, your camera doesn't work during that session during your theater. Or people just, like, have infrared people, like, in all theaters, and just have one dude, you pay him, like, I don't know, $20 an hour, have him wear that infrared light thingy, and then check out everyone that's, like, potentially filming stuff, and crack down on them. You put more money into that, and then you can save more money by no more people having put up, like, cam recordings of movies. But then again, there's always these, like, off-town little towns out there that people don't really care about, and they have theaters, and they might just come from those towns, and they get put online, and yeah. And realistically, sharing, even with piracy like this, people will know if a movie's good or not, and you get more people buying your DVDs or Blu-rays later on when they find out, oh, I couldn't watch it because it was out of theaters, but I'll watch it now on my TV before the DVD comes out because of pirating. And I don't know. You tell me what's right or wrong. There's another thing. How about foreign stuff? Like, how do you get foreign films over here without getting it put online? Like, how would I get to watch, like, some crazy Korean film, or some crazy European film, or say, Japanese stuff? Like, you're not gonna get it locally. Like, how would you say, oh, it's foreign, so it's okay? No, I don't know. How else are you gonna share this stuff? And then people, like, put subtitles for stuff, and you can say, oh, that's not good, like, oh, TV shows from over somewhere else, and they got subtitles, and people say, oh, that's bad, you can't download because you're not supporting it. Or, like, even, like, supporting the own, like, TV shows here, like, locally. Like, what if you don't have cable? You download it, and then you buy the DVDs. Is that good enough, or no? I don't know. And this is ridiculous, like, how things happening, like, oh, just downloading stuff is bad. I think it's just so much, I don't know, it's weird, like, you judge it so easily that there's so many, like, issues here that you just gotta, like, sit down and think about it before you put out, like, crazy acts where it gives you pretty much power over everything and you shut down everything. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, so what is piracy? What do you view as piracy? Tell me below in the comments, and that is all for my rant today. So remember, like it, subscribe, new videos on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
You see ridiculous.
Yeah.